Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are talking about a critical health topic that many people feel embarrassed to discuss, but having this conversation could quite literally save your life. We are talking about the health of your digestive tract and the early warning signs of colon cancer. The colon, also known as the large intestine, is the final part of your digestive system. Its main job is to absorb water and nutrients from the food you eat and process the remaining waste. For a very long time, colon cancer was considered a disease that only affected the elderly. But medical professionals across the world are currently seeing a massive, alarming increase in colon cancer among adults in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. The most dangerous aspect of this disease is that it almost always begins as a tiny, non-cancerous growth called a polyp. These polyps can sit silently on the inner lining of your colon for 5 to 10 years before they mutate and become malignant cancer. During this early stage, they often cause absolutely no pain. However, as the polyp grows and begins to interfere with your digestion, your body will start sending out subtle distress signals. Because these early signs are so incredibly common, millions of people completely ignore them, blaming them on a bad meal, stress, or a simple stomach bug. Recognizing these warnings early is the absolute key to survival. Today, I am going to walk you through the 7 silent warning signs of colon cancer that you must never ignore. The first major warning sign is a persistent, undeniable change in your bowel habits. We all experience occasional constipation or diarrhea depending on what we eat or if we are traveling. But I am talking about a massive shift in your normal routine that lasts for more than a few weeks. You might have been a person who used the restroom regularly every single morning and suddenly you are suffering from severe constipation for days at a time. Or conversely, you might suddenly develop chronic, unexplained diarrhea that simply will not go away. Even more specifically, you must pay very close attention to the shape of your stool. If you notice that your stool has suddenly become incredibly narrow, looking almost like a pencil or a thin ribbon, this is a massive red flag. To understand why this happens, you have to picture your colon as a hollow tube. When a tumor begins to grow on the inner wall of that tube, it physically blocks the passageway. As the waste is forced past the tumor, it gets squeezed incredibly tightly, resulting in that very thin, narrow shape. If your bathroom habits have completely changed and refuse to go back to normal, your body is telling you that there is a physical roadblock in your digestive tract. The second early warning sign is discovering blood in your stool or bleeding from your rectum. This is the symptom that terrifies people the most, yet many still try to ignore it or convince themselves it is just a minor issue, like hemorrhoids. While hemorrhoids are incredibly common and do cause bleeding, you must never assume that is the only cause without seeing a doctor. The blood associated with colon cancer can look very different depending on exactly where the tumor is located. If the tumor is in the lower part of your colon or your rectum, the blood will likely be bright red and might coat the outside of your stool or show up clearly on the toilet paper. However, if the tumor is located much higher up in the right side of your colon, the blood has to travel a long distance and gets partially digested along the way. By the time it exits your body, it will not look like blood at all. Instead, it turns your stool a very dark, terry black color, making it look almost like sticky mud. A bleeding tumor inside your colon is an absolute medical emergency. If you ever look down and see bright red blood or notice that your stool has turned pitch black, you must schedule an appointment with a gastroenterologist immediately. Moving on to the third sign, which is a constant nagging feeling that you need to use the restroom, even right after you just went. This is a highly uncomfortable medical condition known as tenesmus. You might sit on the toilet, have a bowel movement, and stand up feeling completely unsatisfied, as if there is still something physically trapped inside your lower abdomen. This happens because your body is incredibly sensitive to pressure. A tumor growing inside your rectum or your lower colon creates a heavy, constant physical mass. The nerve endings inside your bowel constantly feel this mass pressing against the walls, and they send signals to your brain telling you that your bowel is full and needs to be emptied. But because the mass is a solid tumor and not actual waste, you can never achieve that feeling of relief, no matter how many times you try to go. This constant, frustrating urge is highly disruptive to your daily life and is one of the most classic, definitive signs of a lower digestive tract growth. The fourth warning sign is experiencing sudden, unexplained weight loss without making any changes to your diet or your exercise routine. Losing a few pounds when you are actively trying to get healthier is wonderful. But if you are eating all of your normal meals, living your normal life, and the weight is just rapidly falling off your body, this is a massive metabolic red flag. Cancer cells are incredibly greedy. They multiply at a rapid, chaotic pace, and to fuel that massive growth, they steal vast amounts of energy and nutrients directly from your bloodstream. Your body is essentially feeding the tumor instead of feeding your healthy cells. Furthermore, a tumor in your colon can trigger a massive immune system response. Your body releases inflammatory chemicals called cytokines to fight the cancer. These powerful chemicals aggressively suppress your appetite and alter your metabolism, causing your body to break down its own muscle and fat stores for energy. If your clothes are suddenly hanging off your frame and you have no logical explanation for the weight loss, your body is fighting a massive internal battle that is draining all of your energy reserves. The fifth early warning sign is chronic, profound fatigue and unexplainable physical weakness. This is not the kind of tiredness you feel after staying up too late watching a movie. This is a crushing, bone-deep exhaustion that makes it incredibly difficult to simply walk up a flight of stairs or carry a small bag of groceries. This ties directly back to the hidden bleeding we discussed earlier. When a colon tumor bleeds slowly over a long period of time, it acts like a slow, silent leak in a tire. You might not ever see the blood in your stool because the amount is so microscopic. But over weeks and months, that slow loss of blood completely depletes your body's iron stores. Iron is the crucial mineral your body uses to create red blood cells, which carry oxygen to your brain and your muscles. When you lose that iron, you develop severe anemia. Without enough oxygen circulating in your blood, your muscles are literally suffocating and your brain cannot produce energy. If you are sleeping 8 solid hours a night but still waking up feeling completely wiped out and physically weak, a hidden bleeding tumor could be slowly draining your life force. The sixth warning sign is experiencing frequent, unexplained abdominal pain, severe cramping, or chronic gas pains. We all get a stomachache from time to time, especially after eating something that does not agree with us. But the pain associated with a growing colon tumor is distinctly different and highly persistent. As a tumor grows larger inside your intestinal tract, it creates a physical blockage. When your digestive system tries to push food and waste past this massive roadblock, it causes your intestinal muscles to spasm violently. These spasms translate into severe, sharp cramps that can take your breath away. Furthermore, because the waste is moving so slowly behind the tumor, harmful bacteria begin to ferment the trapped food, creating massive amounts of deep internal gas. This gas stretches the walls of your colon, causing a heavy, dull ache and severe bloating that does not go away even after you use the restroom. If you are constantly holding your stomach in pain and relying on over-the-counter gas medications just to get through the day, your digestive system is fighting a severe internal obstruction. The seventh and final early warning sign is actually something you might be able to feel from the outside, and that is a hard, palpable lump or a feeling of intense fullness in your abdomen. While the colon is tucked deep inside your body, tumors, specifically on the right side of the colon, can grow to be surprisingly large before they cause a complete blockage. As the mass expands, you might lie down in bed, press gently on your stomach, and physically feel a hard, unmoving lump under your skin, usually on the right side or the lower abdominal area. Even if you cannot feel a distinct lump, you might constantly feel a strange sense of heavy fullness or pressure in your stomach, exactly like you just ate a massive meal, even when you have been fasting for hours. This happens because the tumor is taking up vital physical space inside your abdominal cavity and pushing against your other organs. If your stomach feels constantly hard, tight, or you discover any kind of new mass under your skin, it is a massive final warning bell that requires immediate medical imaging. Now that you know these 7 critical warning signs, we must talk about the hidden everyday culprits that are actively destroying your colon right now. The absolute most dangerous food for your lower digestive tract is highly processed meat. The World Health Organization has officially classified processed meats like hot dogs, bacon, sausage, and deli meats as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning they are scientifically proven to cause cancer in humans. When these meats are manufactured, they are packed with chemical preservatives called nitrates and nitrites to keep them looking fresh. When you digest these chemicals, they react with the natural acids in your stomach to form highly toxic compounds called nitrosamines. These nitrosamines travel directly into your colon, where they actively mutate the DNA of your intestinal cells, causing them to grow out of control and form deadly tumors. Another massive factor driving the rapid increase in colon cancer among younger adults is a severe lack of dietary fiber. The modern Western diet is completely overloaded with highly refined carbohydrates like white bread, white pasta, and sugary pastries. When grain is refined, the manufacturer strips away all the natural protective fiber. Without fiber, the food moves incredibly slowly through your digestive tract. This slow transit time means that any toxins, chemicals, or waste products in your food sit directly against the delicate lining of your colon for days at a time. This prolonged exposure acts like a constant toxic bath, severely irritating the cells and dramatically increasing the risk of cancerous mutations. The incredibly empowering news is that colon cancer is one of the most preventable types of cancer in the world if you feed your body the right protective nutrients. The absolute best defense against colon cancer is flooding your digestive system with soluble and insoluble fiber. Fiber acts like a massive internal broom. As it moves through your intestines, it sweeps up dangerous toxins, excess cholesterol, and metabolic waste, trapping them and physically pulling them out of your body before they can cause any damage. You must make it a daily priority to eat massive amounts of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. These vegetables not only provide the sweeping fiber, but they also contain powerful plant chemicals that have been scientifically shown to seek out and destroy cancer cells before they can form into tumors. Another phenomenal habit to protect your colon is to drink plenty of pure, clean water. Hydration is the absolute key to keeping your digestive system moving smoothly. When you combine high amounts of fiber with plenty of water, your stool becomes soft and easy to pass. This reduces the transit time of waste, minimizing the amount of time that dangerous toxins stay in contact with your colon walls. Aim to drink enough water so that your urine is a very pale yellow color, and try adding a squeeze of fresh lemon juice for an extra boost of natural detoxification. Your digestive system is a massive engine that powers your entire life. It works tirelessly every single day to extract the energy you need to survive. Colon cancer is a terrifying diagnosis, but by listening to the subtle whispers your body sends you long before the disease advances, you hold the power to stop it. Never be embarrassed to talk to your doctor about your bathroom habits, unexplained weight loss, or stomach pain. Recognizing these 7 early warning signs, cutting out toxic processed meats, and feeding your gut the heavy fiber it desperately needs can keep your colon clean, healthy, and cancer-free for decades to come. Thank you so much for joining me today and taking this powerful step in protecting your health. Please share this life-saving information with the people you love. Take excellent care of your amazing body, and I will see you in the next video.